Welcome to level 1 of color mixing. You will need your sketchbook, a ruler, a pen or a pencil, or doesn't matter, and a red, a yellow, and a blue colored pencil. We are going to start by using your ruler to set up a new page in your sketchbook. Please follow along. I will take the ruler, and at the top of my page, I'm going to trace my ruler. So you don't have to measure, you're just going to trace the ruler. So I'm going to start at 7, trace around the edge of the ruler, around the bottom, until you have a rectangle that fills the majority of the top of your page. Right below this rectangle, repeat. You want about an inch of space here. Okay? The next row down, you're going to repeat the same thing, but there's going to be a break in your rectangle. So I'm going to start at the 3. To make a smaller rectangle. And one more time. Please label each of these boxes as follows. The top one should be labeled light. The bottom one should be labeled heavy. The first small box should be labeled texture, and the second small box should be labeled smudge. I'm going to let you pause the video here to catch up. Underneath your boxes, we are going to create a color wheel. We are going to start by drawing 3 circles. One at the top, one diagonally down, and another diagonally down. If you would like to trace something to create your circles, you are welcome to. You can use the ruler to connect those 3 circles. Or you can freehand it. It doesn't need to be a perfect straight line. Now, in between these two, you're going to do another circle. Same on the other side. And same down here at the bottom. I'm going to get probably about a half a circle. Now you're going to connect these circles to these circles. Like so. Again, you can pause the video here to catch up. Next, I ask that you please label your pages with the following information. In the middle of your triangle here, I would like you to write the word primary. Underneath primary, please list the colors red, yellow, and blue. Below that, please write the definition of primary. That means those 3 colors cannot be mixed using any other colors. I should write they, not you. Sorry. They cannot be mixed. Next, Please label the remaining 3 colors as secondary. In space available, please write the definition of secondary, which means they are colors that are made by mixing any 2 primary colors. You may pause the video here and make sure that you can catch up. From here, you need to start by choosing 2 colors. So you have red, yellow, and blue to choose from. I need you to pick just 2. I am going to do blue and yellow. So for the first part of this page, we are going to work with just these 2 colors. We are going to start at the top by blending them together lightly. This means light pressure. So when I'm applying the pencil to this rectangle, I'm not going to be pushing hard. So what I'm going to do is start in the corner or the side here, and I'm just going to lightly fill in this rectangle until I get to the middle. Notice how I am moving my pencil in one direction. I am not going multiple directions. Go a little bit past half. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat that same process with my blue pencil. Again, light pressure. Notice where I hold the pencil. When I'm doing light pressure, see how far back my hand is? When you write with a pen or pencil, you hold your hand up here. When you're applying light pressure, if you move your hand back, you'll automatically start to apply less pressure. So now my blue is about to start going over my yellow, and we want those 2 colors to overlap so we can see what happens. We're going to repeat that same exact process, except this time you are going to use heavy pressure. So I'm going to start with my blue this time, and you'll notice I moved my hand down the pencil. I'm still only going one direction. I'm not changing the direction my pencil is going. Excuse me. And I'm going to fill that rectangle. You can already see the difference between this value of color and this value of color, right? I'm going to switch to my yellow and repeat, right? Notice where my hand is on my pencil. And I'm going to let them overlap. And again, we see what happens where those 2 colors overlap. Okay. Now, we have texture and we have smudge. If you remember from our texture videos, you create texture by using value and line quality. So the harder you're pushing with the pencil would be line quality, the difference between light and heavy, and how you move that pencil to create texture with your value and your line quality. So inside this box, I would like you to make some type of texture. I'm going to do kind of like a grassy kind of texture where I'm kind of going up. Right, kind of looks like grass. I'm doing all heavy pressure right now. You can do any type of texture. You could do a feather, you could do water, you could do like a leaf, you could do fur, you could do grass, like I'm doing grass. Alright, so I did heavy texture. I'm going to come in, I'm just going to do some lighter lines now. So I'm changing my pressure, right? Kind of fill in that texture. You can do your texture with a single color, or if you'd like, you can add a second color. So I'm going to come in and again do some hard lines with my yellow. Kind of create some grassy texture. Okay. Last one, smudge. So I'd like you to start at the top of that square, filling in with one color. I'm using about medium pressure. I'm pushing down, but I'm not pushing as hard as I can. And then come up with the other color. Use your finger or a paper towel and see what happens. Kind of nothing, right, with colored pencil. Smudging is hard with colored pencil. Okay? Pause now. Go ahead, take a second to catch up. Alright, now we're on to the bottom portion of the page here. This is our color wheel. You will need all 3 colors. So, as we wrote down, primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. You cannot mix any colors to create these colors. Okay? You don't believe me? Try. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 circles and fill them in with our primary colors. So I'm going to start with red. You can use heavy pressure or light pressure. That is your choice. I'm going to use kind of an in-between, a little bit of a medium pressure. So I'm getting really good color, but it's not too heavy. So we got red, yellow, and last but not least, blue. And those are going to be our primaries. Okay. Secondaries is where we're going to start now. A secondary is any color that is made by mixing 2 primary colors. So if you mix an off blue and an off red, that's not a secondary color because they're not primary colors. True red and true blue, when you mix them, that creates your secondary color. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my red, and just like we did up here where we blended these 2 colors together, I'm going to fill in my secondary circle with my red, medium pressure, and then I'm going to take my blue, so red and blue, and I'm going to go over top. And you should get a purple-ish color. Okay. We're going to repeat that same process for our other 2 secondary colors. So I'm going to take blue, and I'm going to fill in my bottom. Notice, I'm always going one direction. I'm not going all over the place. Then I'm going to go over with yellow. And you should get green. And last but not least, we're going to go over and we're going to do red and yellow. In which case you should get orange. So that means your secondary colors are going to be orange, purple, and green. Congratulations, you completed level 1 of color mixing. Please level up.